All right, good evening, everybody. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss with another 2023 fantasy football lesson learned. All right, so this has been a recurring series rather, since the season ended. I'm just going over some things that we learned during the course of the 2023 fantasy football season and what we can take into the following season in terms of strategy and things of that nature. So if you're new to the channel, of course, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button as well. We're going to be doing a lot of draft coverage coming up in the next couple of months, plus obviously free agency and all that stuff and planning for the next fantasy football season. But here's a key lesson that I think we all learned this season. This even goes back to last year as well. And you know, it really concerns the fact that we need to no longer overlook number one wide receiver. Everybody's got a number one wide receiver on every team, no matter how, good or bad you are. But we need to stop overlooking wide receiver ones on teams that on paper have what look to be very bad quarterback setups. And just having bad offenses altogether, all right? And the reason being is because two of the biggest value plays of the entire season came at the wide receiver position in the form of Tampa Bay Buccaneers perennial Pro Bowler Mike Evans, and then, of course, Michael Pittman of the Indianapolis Colts. So last summer, and I was guilty of this too, with both of these guys, I did not actively draft either one. I did trade for Evans after week one when I got out from under the Drake London fiasco with the Atlanta Falcons right out of the gate. I had to trade Kamara and Drake London just to get out from London, which, that never got better. But I wound up getting Mike Evans in return, and he was phenomenal, even though Kamara was good as well. But here's the thing, and Michael Pittman too, I didn't target either one of them. And when both guys were drafted, I just yawned. And I was like, okay, fine. I wasn't going for them anyway. And that's because of the ugly quarterback situations that both had on paper coming into the season. For Tampa Bay, it was either Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. The consensus was Mayfield was going to win the job. But that was his fourth team since coming into the NFL as a failed number one overall pick. So it was hard to feel any encouragement there. And then you had Michael Pittman, who had to deal with the expected rookie struggles of Anthony Richardson, who had a lot of accuracy problems at Florida, only a 57% passer in college. And the thought was that while he was going to be a great runner right away, that he was going to have to be schooled up as an NFL passer, and they probably would be leaning on the run more than ever. So as a result, Michael Pittman was drafted at wide receiver 24 in PPR leagues, and Michael Pittman drafted as wide receiver 25. So screaming values for both guys, no doubt about it. Fast forward into the end of the season, and wow, both of these guys came through as monster values. Mike Evans finished PPR wide receiver 7, 79 catches, 1,255 yards, 13 touchdowns. Michael Pittman was wide receiver 13, 109 catches, 1,152 yards, 4 scores. So the scores weren't there, but the catches were phenomenal. And 90-plus catches each of the last 2 seasons. And Evans reestablished himself as one of the best touchdown producers at a wide receiver position of football. So, yeah, I mean, those who took the plunge on them came out with smash value plays. And again, last season, prior to 2022, we had the same scenario with Seattle with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, because nobody thought Geno Smith was going to engineer that comeback season that he had in 2022. And we all avoided both of those guys who came up smelling like roses. And that's just what happened with Evans and Pittman as well. So next season, no matter how bad the quarterback situation is on paper, the top wideout on volume alone should provide useful at the very least, and maybe smashing fantasy football numbers, just being in that position there. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. More videos on the way soon.